Today I'm painting a beautiful dreamy moonlight scene and I'm using only 3 colors. Hi, my name is Anna and here on my channel you will find many painting tutorials suitable for beginners. The paper measures are 8 by 8 centimeters. I taped off approximately 5 millimeters of tape around the edges. I also taped off the horizon just below the center. You can find all my materials in the video description. I paint with gouache paints and use the colors titanium white, ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. The paper is 300 gram watercolor paper. I begin by painting the entire sky with a dark shade with a mix of ultramarine blue and sienna. I usually work with gouache from thin to thick layers of paint. I would like to take a moment to talk about the 3 colors I choose for this artwork and why I decided to limit myself to just these. My idea for this painting was to create a calm, quiet night scene, something that feels peaceful and a little bit dreamy, like a moment when everything is still and the only light comes from the moon. I love using a limited color palette because it helps me focus on the mood rather than getting lost in too many color decisions. And for this painting I felt that just 3 carefully chosen colors would be enough to create atmosphere, depth and light. So here's what I choose. Ultramarine blue to represent the coolness of the night. Since ultramarine is often not dark enough, I choose burnt sienna to make the blue even darker. The white, as a strong contrast, is perfect for depicting the moon and its reflections on the water. As I darken the sky, I added a touch of white and paint a bright spot in the middle of the sky. I made sure this circle had a smooth transition to the rest of the sky. Working with fewer colors also challenges me to be more intentional. I mix more, I layer more carefully, I really think about value and temperature. In a way, the limitation becomes an opportunity to explore more deeply what each color can do. And if you are a beginner or someone who doesn't have a lot of supplies yet, this is a great way to practice. You really don't need 20 tubes of paint to make something beautiful. So as I paint this scene, you will see how these 3 colors work together and how much can be done with very little. I enhance the bright spot again with white and carefully blend the edges for a smooth transition. To blend, I use a dry, soft brush and move in circular motions around the spot. I keep correcting overly bright areas in the sky. Please forgive me for the slight glare from my light on the paper. I forgot to paint on a slight slope. I'm painting the moon with pure white. Some of the darker background lifts off and slightly darkens the white. That's perfect for the typical patterning on the moon. Now I just need to apply thicker white paint to highlight the brighter areas. With a small brush and pure white, I paint the upper edges of the clouds and blend the white downward into the background. I find it a bit tricky to paint a typical cloud shape, but with a bit of practice you will get there quickly. Now I'm using the thicker white to paint the bright areas on the moon. It's time to remove the tape from the horizon and start painting the sea. The best way to paint the sea is with a flat brush or a filbert brush. I use small horizontal strokes and sometimes even zigzag lines. In this artwork, I'm leaving the middle area a bit empty because that's where the moon's reflection will be. I'm also making a bit lighter toward the horizon so you can clearly see where the sea ends and the sky begins. Here too, I'm working in multiple layers, starting with thin paint and building up to thicker applications. I use white to make the horizon light enough and to highlight the reflections. It's important to add small darker strokes within the reflection from time to time. This suggests gentle little waves. As always, the best part of any video is removing the tape. When that clean white paper edge appears, it feels like the artwork instantly looks even better. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to give a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you have ever painted just with three colors.